In today's video, we'll be taking a look at my top 5 silent tactile switches of 2025. So the Durock Silent T1 is my go-to choice for those looking for a heavier and sharper silent tactile. One of the most notable aspects of this switch is its weight. With a 67 gram bottom out force, these switches are heavier than 89% of all switches out there. So if you're a heavier typist, these will provide a satisfying resistance with each keystroke. But what truly sets the T1 apart is its distinctive tactile profile. The Silent T1 step tactile bump sets it apart as one of the sharper and more defined tactiles I've used. Despite their strong tactility, the Silent T1s are impressively quiet. The silencing dampeners effectively minimize both the downstroke and upstroke sounds, making these an excellent choice for shared environments where you still want that definitive tactile feel. Here's how they sound. The Bluish Studio Silent Tactiles bring something truly unique to the table, especially for those who can't stand the mushiness often associated with silent switches. Unlike most silent switches that use rubber dampeners, the WS Silent Tactiles take an innovative approach with their silencing mechanism. These use cutouts on the stem that reduce noise while maintaining a more solid bottom out feel. This design choice results in a noticeably stiffer typing experience compared to other silent tactiles. With a 63.5 gram bottom out force, these switches are heavier than around 80% of switches out there. The tactile bump itself is in the medium range. They're definitely not as sharp as the Silent T1s we just talked about. It's worth noting that I find these to be not quite as silent as some of the other options on this list, but the trade-off in firmness makes them worth considering, especially if you find other silent switches to be too mushy. Priced at $420 for 10 switches at Milktooth, where you get free shipping on orders over $49, the WS Silent Tactiles represent a solid value proposition for their unique characteristics. Take a listen to the sound test. Outemu brings something special to the table with their Silent Yellow Jade and Lime switches, offering two excellent options at different weights. The Silent Yellow Jades, as the third iteration of Outemu's silent tactile lineup, are surprising in that they actually feel lighter than their specs suggest. On paper, they have a 65 gram bottom out, but I find that they feel lighter despite this being in the medium-heavy range. These factory loop switches feature a unique translucent housing and a punchy tactile bump that provides clear feedback without being overwhelming. But if you need something really light, the Silent Yellow Jade sibling, the Outemu Limes, are my recommendation for you. These switches are incredibly unique in that they combine lightweight springs, approachable tactility, and effective silencing. Plus, they have a nice RGB diffuser if you like your keyboard bright at night. With just a 35 gram actuation and 45 gram bottom out force, these are among the lightest tactile switches available. For reference, that's lighter than 96% of switches on the market. Since these are so light, the tactile bump is also not as aggressive. The Limes offer a feathery typing experience with just a touch of tactility, making them perfect for extended typing sessions. Both switches feature nylon housings with a 3.3mm total travel and come factory lubed. These are priced competitively at Milktooth, where they start at $310 per 10 switches, making them excellent value options. Here's how they sound. Now the U4s. These switches deliver a pronounced rounded tactile bump that's reminiscent of the satisfying flick of a light switch. Moving on to the type feel. For me, the U4s feature a smooth but not slick texture. Think of it as a matte smoothness rather than a glossy one. I find that this contributes to the premium feel and has made them a personal favorite among many keyboard enthusiasts. In fact, Gazzew says the U4 is his favorite switch out of all the ones he designed. With a rounded tactile bump, you'll feel the tactility throughout the entire keystroke as opposed to just at a specific point. So unlike the Silent T1's sharp tactility, expect something rounder with the U4s. These are also a bit lighter with a 62 gram bottom out that's heavier than 68% of switches out there. At $650 per 10 switches, they sit in the premium category, but their exceptional build quality and distinctive tactile profile makes them worth considering. Here's the sound test. For my best overall silent tactile, the TDC Silent Bluish White earns the top spot by striking a perfect balance across all categories. Offering subdued yet satisfying tactility with a 50 gram bottom out force, these switches hit the sweet spot between lightness and tactile feedback. The sound profile of the Silent Bluish Whites reminds me of raindrops tapping on your window. Soft, almost therapeutic, and designed to fade into the background without ever being intrusive. In short, what makes the Silent Bluish White my top pick is its universal appeal. It's not extremely light like some options, nor is it particularly heavy. The tactility is present and enjoyable without being overwhelming. At $463 per 10, you save 30% on them at Milktooth. Support the channel by using the link in the description. Now take a listen to how they sound. Now here are back-to-back sound tests for all the switches we covered today. But if you don't mind something a little louder, take a look at my top 5 creamy switches of the year. For now, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.